Degens, Diamond Hands, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Door Show! Presented to you by Diamond Hand Radio and brought to you, as always, in partnership with the Respected Rhinos Club. Shout out. I don't even have the words because they're so amazing. An extra special shout out to my Naked Rhinos family. My friends, I am your humbled, honored, and clearly always hyped host, Colton Cap'n Colt Stroka, and I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by, hang out with your boy. Today's special guest of the day joining us in about 30 minutes from now and do our own research together. Now, my friends, before we can do any of that, a couple of things I need you to do for me. Item number 1 up on the docket. Please take a quick second to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you're currently ingesting the Door Show on. If you are watching on YouTube, you might as well hit that notification bell as well down there so you never miss the start of a live show or any additional content dropping on the channel. Or if you're watching on YouTube, or Twitter, make sure you hit that follow button and that notification bell there as well so you never miss any of the Diamond Hand Radio social media content. Or if you're listening to the pod on your favorite podcast directory, make sure you hit that like button, that follow button, or that subscribe button right here and right now as the audio of every single episode releases after each live show is complete. Next item up on the docket, you can be so kind, you can find it in your heart to do so while you are watching today's show. Hey, go ahead, hit that other like button, leave me a comment, leave me a rating, jump on over yonder in the live YouTube chat. Not on Twitter, in the live YouTube chat. Why? 3 key reasons. Number 1, that's how we start every single show, by saying, hey, hi, how you doing? GM to the chat. It's also how we stay in communication throughout the duration of the entire show, and it is the only way that you, the viewer, can enter into the Daily Door Show giveaways. That's right, we do giveaways on this show, ladies and gentlemen. Today, giving away a Taggerz XL, which has so much value behind it. I will explain shortly, and that secret phrase that you got to pop in that YouTube live chat will be released shortly as well. Last, but certainly not least, please hit that share button. Send it on over to your brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, friends, enemies, neighbors, people who live on the opposite side of the damn globe as you, but you would refer to her as a good old-fashioned diamond hander and somebody who could use a little bit of knowledge and insights about the Web3 and NFT space from time to time. Can't thank you enough when you do all those things. Only helps you make Diamond Hand Radio and the Door Show bigger and better for each and every one of you. Woo! As the Reverend T.D. Jakes once said, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen, August 1st, 2022. I, once again, am your host, Colton Cap'n Colt Stroka, and this is The Door Show, presented to you by Diamond Hand Radio and brought to you in partnership with the Respected Rhinos Club. Thank you so much, once again, for tuning in, for being loyal members of the Diamond Hand fam, or maybe this is your first time tuning in. I have no idea. Either way, this show is possible because of each and every one of you. And from the bottom of my heart, starting off a new month, there's something in the air, man. Something big is coming. We got NFT Vegas at the end of the month. I don't know. Something big is feels like something big in the air for the old Diamond Hand fam. Well, first things first, my friends. We got to say GM, hello, hey, hi, how you doing to the chat. So let's slide on over there, see how everybody's doing, what's popping. First one in the chat this morning, we had Red, GM, what's popping, Red? Good to see ya. Then my man Munch, GM, let's go! Come on, baby, come on, man. I'm so doggone excited. I don't know what it is. There's something in the air, and maybe it's just my coffee. I have no clue. But GM, Jack Warren, GM. Wendy, GM. Happy Monday. Good to see you here early. Alpha Minor, what's up, baby? Hey, maybe a little alpha for you. Maybe Alpha Minor's a guest on the show sometime soon. Who knows? Who's to say? Who's to know? Not me. I didn't leak any alpha. Shout out, GM, Alpha Minor. GM, Mama Bear. Good to see you. GM, thanks for always being in the chat, for all your support. My man, Hamp. J Money, what's up, baby? Good to see you. GM. GM, good morning to you. Hey, hi, how you doing? Open 247-365, spreading that PLP, baby. Peace, love, and positivity. Hey, I think that's what we should do. So peace, love, and positivity. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that's a new thing. Maybe it's not. Maybe I just look like a goon. But shout out my boy, Open 24/7-365, the community manager of the Savage Baskets. Also, shout out Baby Lungs Bree. I got the swimmer's lungs, the big lungs working for you this morning. But come on, how do I have this much energy? It is brought to you by at Coffee Labs Roasters. Thank you very much, Naked Z, and all the wonderful stuff you do for me. I'll tell you about that here soon. I have a big announcement tomorrow. Speaking of, another Canadian connection. You are right, Dr. J. GMGM. She's actually already live on the show with us, but I didn't drop that alpha either. GMGM, Dr. J. Good to see you. Toxic, let's go. Thanks for popping in on your lunch, my brother. Moving them houses, doing the damn thing. You are the man, my brother. Wifey, GMGM. Good to see you. Good to see you. GMGM. Tommy. Oh, right around the corner. Right around the corner. We's be there. We in the house. Mr. Haas. Speaking of in the house, Mr. Haas. 4 squares. Probably because YouTube doesn't realize what the heck kind of emojis he's putting down. He's too advanced over there. Mr. Haas just programming the internet trying to hijack my show or something. I see what you're doing over there, Mr. Haas. Hey, shout out everybody in the chat. Love you guys. Appreciate you so much again. Because of you, this show is possible. Now, I know the last thing. Oh, shit. I forgot about Turvek, GMGM, and I forgot about Voodoo, GMGM, you beautiful humans. Good to see you over there. Appreciate each and every one. Hey, everybody go follow GAC Comedy Club as well. My man Turvek is putting on some pretty funny and some good stuff here coming up in the future. So shout out Turvek. Shout out Ferk and Grandoff at the second breakfast. Just slid in the door from over there. And now it's time for the door. Final thing before we get into the first segment of the day, my friends, you know the drill. Secret phrase of the day for August 1st, 2022 is hashtag Taggerz Takeover. Hashtag Taggerz Takeover. 2 G's, 1 Z. Hashtag Taggerz Takeover. Cannot be on Twitter. Has to be in the live YouTube chat. Not anywhere on your screen in Twitter. In the live YouTube chat. Slide on over. Take 2 seconds. Enter hashtag Taggerz Takeover. And you will be entered in to win 1 Taggerz XL today. What is a Taggerz XL, you ask? Oh, my friends, it is a whole bunch. We will ask our wonderful guest of the day, Miss Daphnee, over here at the Taggerz, about everything that's behind it. But I will let you in that there is, some forward utility, if you will, future utility. Maybe you get a completely free mint for the next collection that's coming because you get a Taggerz XL. I don't know. Who's say? Who's no? But you see it in there, down there today, my friends. It is with a Z, Taggerz Takeover, Taggerz Takeover today, and you will be entered into the Daily Door Show giveaway. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. So I was having a little glitchiness go on over here. We're good to go. All right, my friends, first segment of the day up on tap, NFT 101. Okie dokie, artichokes. There you go. One more time, scrolling by me. Hashtag Taggerz Takeover is the secret phrase of the day for the Daily Door Show live YouTube chat giveaway. Entered in the live YouTube chat, and we'll draw that bad boy at the end of the show. But for now, NFT 101. Just a couple of things I wanted to kind of go back over. If I didn't really have like an official NFT 101 on this. So what is Web3? And I just kind of want to explain the different iterations. I wrote some just general thoughts, some general things that like layman's terms, as if I was explaining it to a 5-year-old or something, because that's how it was what helped me understand it. I'm not calling you guys 5-year-olds or anything. I'm just saying it's what helped me understand it. So I'm going to break it real down simply. And then kind of some of the key things to be bullish on or excited on for the future, right? So just a couple of things I wanted to talk about. And as always, do a little educating. First things first, Web 1, my friends. 1990 to 2004, Web 1 obviously started early 1990s, 1990, with the dial-up internet and, maybe some instant messenger. Emails were really big. Basically, it was read-only. It created decentralized protocols that allowed people to access links from anywhere in the world, right? We all know that that's the basic deal. There was no content. There was virtually zero interaction between the users. There was really never any good quality human to human, person to person contact. And then companies basically own static websites that really didn't evolve much. They were just kind of there to be like, hey, this is our landing page, check us out. And it really created this read only environment, right? So you can think of Web 1 as read only. Hey, you already got smarter. You said, you walk in, hey, yeah, work right now, you're on lunch, whatever. You walk in the door, the sweetheart says, what'd you learn today, sweetheart? I said, baby, Web 1 is the read only version of the internet. Shit, I got more. You're going to learn even more shit. You got number 2, you can tell sweetheart when you walk in the door. Number 2, Web 2, created in 2004 to pretty much the present. Because remember, hold on, we'll get there. We ain't on Web 3 yet. We're on about Web 2.5, if that. But Web 2, 2004 to present. And it basically created a person-to-person contact platform, social media platforms, and then it really created that centralized feeling on the internet, right? It gave big companies the power to kind of control the traffic, the value, the money of everything going on. You know, content started to come out, ad revenue started to be a big thing. The creator economy has boomed into what it is today, right? So Web 2 has really just evolved over time, and the internet of things and interconnectability. And you look at one thing on one website, and because of the cookies on there, you go back to Facebook or Twitter or wherever, and there's an ad for that, right? So that's all Web 2. But the thing is those centralized big companies are who owns everything, who controls everything. That's and hopefully they're private companies, and hopefully, big stressful on the hopefully, are acting in good faith of the public. Enter Web 3, where we don't have to worry about hopefully this third-party entity is taking care of us and really thinking about us in the long run, right? We don't have to worry about that with Web 3. And it's not here yet. I didn't put a date. I put building. We are literally building Web 3. We are not on Web 3 yet. We have technologies. We're rolling out the blockchain, the Web 3 technologies, the non-fungible tokens, cryptocurrencies. Who knows with the POW to POS, with the ETH flip, which I'll talk about tomorrow actually on NFT 101. I wrote that down. I want to talk about the ETH merge and kind of what the layer 2 merge and proof of work to proof of stake and what all that means. Because so many people are talking about it, and it's like, well, perfect opportunity. Let me talk about it. But I want to talk about this today just to kind of get you excited for the future and some different things. But what Web3 is doing, if you don't know, I'm sure you do if you're here, but it's bringing back decentralization to society. It is putting back the power in the people, in the people's hands. It is allowing us to make the choices and the changes that we want. There's no permissions. You don't have to go through all these firewalls, and anybody can participate regardless. It is completely open. Anybody can see all of the transactions. We know all the Etherscan. We know everything like that in between. And it does not work on the way regular society works on because of the native payments. Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, whatever, mainly Ethereum here with most of the projects we have on the show, but they don't work normally like you would typically think of a power structure. They're really reliant on the incentives and the economic mechanisms that are put into place because of the blockchain and the crypto and the native tokens that allow us to not, us as the people, to not have to depend on those big companies to regulate and make the rules and say everything and give us those permissions, right? So it puts us back it puts the power back in the hands of us as the people and allows content to become something that, holy cannoli, I'll talk about it in here just in a second, but content is going to take a whole new shift. And that's why I wanted to take the jump now and start a whole new platform. And by the grace of God, and I am humbled and thankful, it has taken off and things have been really, really good. And what we're building with the Diamond Hand fam is something so much more special than any of us realize. And we're at the precipice of the beginning of the new wave of content, I promise you. But a couple of things that closes out Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. Just some stuff to think about. And hey, it's forever etched in YouTube history. So somebody can come back. What's the difference? What is Web 3? Oh, hey, look. Cap and Gold talking about Web 3. What the hell is it? And I broke down all 3 iterations. Key things to be bullish on, kids, before we move to word on the chain. These are kind of things that matter to me. Ownership. And it should matter to you. No one, not even the founders of the projects, the artists, the devs, I don't give a damn. No one can take that NFT away from you. You have full ownership of it. You paid for it. It is yours. they can't pull the plug. Like if Facebook pulled the plug, your account's gone, everything's on there, gone, it's done, it's over with. That will not, like, even if a project quote unquote pulls the plug, unless OpenSea completely delisted and all the shit, there's so much extra shit. Nobody can ever. That would be the drastic thing, but nobody can ever take that away from you, right? You sell it, you own it. It is, you own every bit of it. Censorship. You can produce what you want. You can be here. You can. I mean, look at some of the crazy ass NFTs that have. I mean, literal piles of shit with different logos of different social media companies coming out of it, and people are buying them for hundreds of dollars, mind you. So censorship, like, it's completely removed. You could do what you want, when you want, where you want. It is fully decentralized. And then last but certainly not least, the last little point that really meant something to me was identity. We've talked about soulbound tokens and everything like that. I truly believe that the Internet of Things and the interconnectability that we know now in our society and on our social media platforms and everything, I truly believe that is going to literally stick steroids in the arm of what we know it is now with Web3 and shoot it up through the damn moon. And I think literally every bit of ourselves, our IDs, our degrees, our passports, our certifications, our life is going to be stored on the blockchain. Maybe not in the form that we know it as of now, but I promise you, sometime sooner rather than later, maybe not sooner, but long-term view here, we are definitely going to be stored on the blockchain. It's going to change the way we know identity and see persona, if you will, forever. So there you go. Layman's terms description of what the hell is Web3 and some things to be bullish on and think about in the future. I mentioned it there in the middle. I'm going to talk about tomorrow, again, super high level, not highbrow, high level, like we're not even diving to the deep end is what I'm trying to say here, of just what that layer 2 merge is. I'm not even going to go into what it means, maybe just a little bit, but really, what is proof of work? What is proof of stake? And what does this mean? Everybody's talking about, Ethereum could flip Bitcoin. And, I just kept hearing this. So I started to do some research, and it's really interesting. And even though I hang out with a lot of ETH maxis, and I'm not going to call myself an ETH maxi by any means, but it's very interesting, some of the things we'll talk about. So I'll talk all about that tomorrow. But before we move on to the second segment of the day, that does it for the first segment of the day. And this, my friends, is today's secret phrase of the day. August 1st, 2022, hashtag Taggerz Takeover is your secret phrase of the day. I see new friends popping in the chat. Shout out NFT Mama. I see you down there. Shout out Saitama Inu. I see all you guys down there. Shout out to each and every one of you. I'm telling you what, this giveaway today is absolutely massive. Cannot wait. I'm going to flex some of the art here once the young lady of the hour joins us. But until then, keep smashing in. Hashtag Taggerz Takeover, Taggerz Takeover in the live YouTube chat. And you'll be entered to the Daily Door Show giveaway of the day. All right, my friends. It's time to keep this proverbial podcast train steaming on down the tracks, as always, with the second segment of the day. Word on the chain. Okie dokie, artichokes. It's time to sip a little bit of that Web3 tea. And, talk a little news from around the world of Web3 and beyond. Word on the chain has it. Item number 1. Talked about this morning. A lot of people talking about it. News released yesterday. Tiffany & Co., Tiffany, the jewelry brand, and CryptoPunks are entering kind of a partnership. I'm going to be releasing some NFTs. And if you are a CryptoPunk holder, you can get a chain with your pendant on it. But a couple of catches. Number 1, there's only 250 of these bad boys. 50 of them are going to be reserved for an allow list. I found out through a little bit of research today. 200 of them are going to be reserved for a public mint, but that public mint is only CryptoPunks holders. And the cherry on top of the utility sundae, my friends, is it'll cost you the pretty penny of 30 ETH to get your hands on one of these beautiful pendants that is literally probably the freaking side, like this. Like we're just dangling that, like it literally 30 ETH, kids. Yeehaw, hi ho, silver. Hey, I mean, I guess if you got fuck you money, whatever you want to invest it in. My kind of bit of pushback, I guess, if you will, or devil's advocate, I don't even know what the hell you want to call it, is like, everybody's always asking when utility. Well, if you're just a CryptoPunks holder, I would just imagine you hey, first come, first serve. It's a free mint. I would set it up. It would be utility. You would have access. Oh, they get a claim of it, but hey, costs 30 ETH. I don't know. I'd go get a bigger, sick ass pendant with a huge Cuban link iced out chain, everything iced out for like 10,000. Like, I mean, 15,000. Like, I don't know. I don't have fuck you money like that yet. So who knows? Who's to say? Who's to know? Maybe you'll see one dangling around my neck someday. I'm a jewelry guy for sure. Got my ears pierced. My chain broke. I don't wear a chain no more. But hey, you see, I'm a jewelry guy. Stop distracting me. Word on the chain has it. Item number 2. Pearson. Yeah, that's right. If you attended the halls of your local university or community college, or if you've just maybe only gone to high school, or maybe you only made it through middle school, or fuck, you didn't go to college at all, or you didn't go to school at all. Not college, you didn't go to school at all. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. What I'm here to tell you is Pearson, the textbook maker, they have made an announcement, or rather the CEO has made an announcement. Andy Bird has basically announced that they are working over at Pearson on NFT textbooks with certain utility. And he released a statement saying, we have a whole team working on the implications of the metaverse. And I paraphrase him when he went on to say, participation in downstream revenues was the big thing. Participation in downstream revenues is very intriguing to me. He said, so obviously that's real interesting. Students going to be able to buy books, and literally when they're done with them for the semester, they can list them on the secondary and flip them. Like, I don't know. I mean, that does sound kind of crazy, but what is Pearson cooking up? And what does Pearson need with the metaverse? We consistently find ourselves asking that question. And I don't want it to sound like we're not still early, because we are still early, but the big dogs are coming to play. And I'm telling you, the next 6 to 12 months, you are going to see big dogs hopping in left, right, and center like this. And if one of the major, like if McGraw-Hill makes an announcement too to compete with Pearson, I mean, hello, it's showtime. I mean, all these little industries, not education is a little industry, especially post-secondary education. But or secondary education, either way. The main thing that I care about is all these industries are finding how they fit in. Like, Vitalik Buterin said, I don't know necessarily, and I'll talk about, actually, I'll save that here for a little bit, but he made a statement that it's just so hard to really make something right now because the people who are invested, they don't even know what they want. Like, all this new technology rolls out day after day, day in and day out. And then, oh, damn, our squirrel, our attention is so split and all over the map with some of this stuff. So, it's going to be really interesting to see all of these major players in IRL, Web2 as we know it, start to try and find their niche and how they can apply Web3 blockchain NFT technology to their process and what they already do. And yet again, we've already named 2 major players in IRL, Tiffany with jewelry and Pearson with education and textbooks. I mean, the big dogs are coming. The plays are happening. Word on the chain has it. Item number 3. Sorry if you were a hodler, but the Rich Dwarves tribe has officially rugged. That's right, if you didn't hear about it. This was a sold-out collection of 4,499 NFTs. They minted back in December, actually December 11th of 2021 to be exact, for a beautiful price, which was cheap back then, of 0.2 ETH. I was talking about this the other day, like 0.12s, 0.07s. You were like, oh, 0.07 mint. Oh, that's the deal of the century. Now, if it's not free, you're like, fuck you. It is the mentality, how fast this space changes. It's crazy. But it minted for 0.2, sold out like nobody's business. And holders actually included Jason Derulo, Neo, Bow Wow, Fred Durst, and many other names of that caliber. A lot of artists, a lot of musicians, a lot of producers, actors, stuff like that were involved in it. They had promised metaverses, exclusive events, metaverse exclusive events, staking, future collections, access to those collections, incubators, launch pads, massive giveaways, and much more. So, it just goes to show, like, you never know who you should follow. You never know who you should really keep your eye on out there, right? And as I change it actually to Web3, you guys got way too long access to that. That was cheating. It just goes to show you never know. It just do your research, and I would so much like. I'm not saying there's not any problem at all with doxing or anything in between, or even having a team that you really know who the team is. I'm not saying that, but it just be careful. I invest in people. I invest in people who I have spent amounts of time with and have good conversations with, like Daphnee, who will be joining us very soon in about 5 minutes from now on DOORkeepers, the founder and artist behind the Taggerz NFT Collection. But we'll talk about that here soon. And I just invest in people that I know and that I trust. And I guess at the same time, too, you see Jason Derulo, Neo, Bow Wow, these guys getting involved. You're like, shit, I might as well go involved, too. And then you get rugged out. So it just, it's a part of the game. You're going to get involved in NFTs and investing. It's part of the game. And I've said it once. I'll say it a million times. I'll be saying it in 10 years when Diamond Hand Radio is the biggest platform on the internet for Web3 and blockchain and NFT and Web4 and Web5. When we get to that, investing is a contact sport. And if you do not have enough padding to survive a couple of hits, then you should not be in the game. Point blank, period. I'll leave it at that. Word on the chain has it. Item number 4. This did happen last week, but I didn't really mention it because I wanted to do some research on what actually it all meant. So if you saw, Wallet Guard made a post about MetaMask, a big MetaMask update, and I actually retweeted it, and I thought it was really cool stuff, and I need to do some more research on it. Apparently, a lot of these hacks, when you go to a link and you hit connect or whatever, or sign, what you're doing is setting approval for all. That's what's getting written into the smart contract. And that is what allows these hackers who do write the contracts to have full access of all your NFTs and all your tokens, transfer them out, and completely screw you of everything. Now, that being said, MetaMask has put in an update that puts in big bold letters, you give permission to all of X NFTs or whatever you're doing. And it also says, by granting permissions, you're allowing the following account to access your funds and all of your assets. Bang. That should stop you in your tracks. Hit decline. Hopefully what they're doing is showing like, hey, we care about security and we know what's happening. We're trying to move as fast as we can. And what this says to me is MetaMask is trying to say, hey, security's coming. We're trying to help you. And I like that at least they're doing something. Okay. At least they're doing something. Word on the chain has it. Item number 5. I mentioned this just a second ago, but Vitalik Buterin made a comment on Meta and the stuff that Mark Zuckerberg's doing with formerly Facebook. Essentially, Vitalik said, anything Meta creates right now will misfire, not maybe, will misfire. It's way too early to know what people actually want in the market. I told you right there, it is pretty early. I mean, free mints were here like a doggone wildfire, and then they just disappeared out of nowhere. So, they're still here a little bit, but what's that next thing going to be? What do people want? Is it going to be gaming? Is it going to be some type of metaverse? What's going on with Yuga and other side? And there's so much. What do people really want? And I am just invested for the long term. And shout out to Flip It. Said it today on the second breakfast. I promise you, the richest of the people are the diamond hands right now who are just holding and being involved in communities, because there's really not a far dip when you should be buying, and there's really not a big pump when you should be selling. So they're just hanging out, making the diamond hand stronger and stronger and stronger. And before you know it, when the pump comes, then they're going to start selling, and the rich get richer. And the beat goes on, my friends. So don't miss the opportunity. There's still time. The rocket ship's going to the moon, but you better get on, boys and girls. Last but certainly not least, word on the chain has it. Item number 6, closing out the day. There has been an updated collectibles and NFT market size forecast, courtesy of Market Decipher. The data and insights were published. The market size in 2021 of NFTs and collectibles was $402 billion, based on projections and a 2032 forecast. In 2032, the market size of NFTs and collectibles is projected to be $1 trillion. That is 1 trillion with a T. So if you're here early, and consider yourself one of the lucky few. You, my friend, you young man, you young lady, are the one. You are building. You are making Web3. a special place to be. That does it. Okay. My friends, I am so super stoked excited about this upcoming chat. You know, I don't like to say interview because that's not, obviously, I have no sense of seriousness no matter what any damn situation you put me in. So, one more time, you crazy sons of guns. I see you blowing up the chat over there. Shout out everybody in the chat. Appreciate each and every one of yous. Let's see here. Secret phrase of the day. One more time. August 1st. Well, two more times probably. But August 1st, 2022. Hashtag Taggerz Takeover. Hashtag Taggerz Takeover. Taggerz Takeover in the YouTube live chat. Does not work in the Twitter live chat, only in the YouTube live chat, and we will draw for one Taggerz XL, which also doubles as a free mint to the upcoming Taggerz project that we'll talk about with our guest joining us very, very shortly. Get you entered into a giveaway for that today. Please enter hashtag Taggerz Takeover in the YouTube live chat. And hey, retweet this, like this. If you're on Twitter, before you jump over, like it, retweet it. You know the drill. All right, my friends, here we go. Without further ado, it is time to get into the third and final segment of the day. Doorkeepers. Not gonna lie, I could have lied to you guys, but I might or might not have, can't confirm nor deny. Maybe tried to take I just took a vitamin pit stop, and that was the best choice of my entire life. This is, wow. Hey, also, didn't cheers to you guys. Anybody still sipping on that bean water, that black elixir of the gods? Hey, cheers to you. Cheers to the Sea Bums. Cheers to the Brew Crew! And all of the Diamond Hand fam and the communities that are a part of it. Take your sip. I'll be right back. Ooh, hold on. 2 sips. Sorry. Woo! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get on your feet and put your hands together and help me welcome in a young lady who reached out earlier and said, Cap, I'm a bit nervous to come on the show. I ain't never podcasted before. I don't know what to say, where to go. I said, just relax. I'll gently row the proverbial podcast boat down the stream. You're an electric human being. All you got to do is show up and be yourself. Now, my friends, she is also traveling right now. She's taken the time out of her incredibly hectic schedule to spend it with moi, my goofy ass. I can't believe it. I am incredibly honored. So without further ado, please help me welcome in. I mentioned that because she will not be doxing today. She's all over the map. If it was glitchy or anything, we didn't want to worry about it. She didn't have a good spot to really set up. So she's still joining us no matter that, which I am beyond grateful for. So my friends, help me welcome in the founder and artist of the Taggerz NFT Collection, a young lady who is a massive heart human with what she does for the space and with her community and everybody in between. She's a diamond hander. She's a PLP pusher. Welcome her to the stage for her first official appearance at the door, Daphnee.
GM. Wow,
Yeah.
what an introduction.
GM. Hey, it's what I do. You know, I try and do it every time just to, you know, whether you're all the way up at the totem pole or whether you're all the way at the bottom or wherever you see yourself in between, I like to do that for everybody because each and every guest is special to me and you're special to me as well, Daphnee. So, you know, I always like to go a little bit out of my way to do those intros. So thank you. I appreciate it. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day. I'm so hyped to be on the show. Thank you so much for this opportunity. How are you?
The pleasure is all mine. I am absolutely spectacular, especially now that I get an opportunity to talk to you. It's been a couple of weeks since we last connected. I mean, at least for a lengthy duration of time. We've DM'd a couple times here or there, but I'm excited to get some Taggerz alpha, get a little updates and some news in between. But before we dive into all of that, and I'll ask you kind of some higher thought questions too, as far as just kind of the Web3 space and stuff in between. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to throw you a knuckle curveball or something to make you fall over in the plate, but a softball to start things off. Tell us a little bit about the legendary Lady D. I mean, a little bit of IRL life, some of your backstory, you before you found Web3.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually a self-taught artist. I was given a computer by a really nice nonprofit that takes care, of former youth in foster care. Probably like, 9 years ago or something. And I was a waitress at the time, and I would come back from my shift and spend, until 4 a.m. watching YouTube videos, teaching myself how to do graphic design, and I always wanted to be an artist, so I always dabbed into that, but had to pay the bills. So I started by doing branding, website logos, and stuff like that. And eventually, was able to go into graphic design full time. And then I discovered the beauties of NFTs, and it completely changed my life. And since then, I took the leap and went into Web3 full time. Started with, just my personal art, minted it, and eventually got hired to do some art for some projects. Got, a little bit, got some successful project that I helped designing, got rugged by teams, took a couple of beatings and still here. And then eventually I decided to work on my own project. Once I came into the space, I saw the opulent amount of money just circulating in the space. I legit didn't know there was that much money in the world. And, my goal was like becoming kind of, a legal Robin Hood of the space, redistributing all that wealth to people who actually need financial freedom. And, I chose some causes, social economic causes that are close to my heart. And that's where Taggerz was born. That's about it.
I love that. I love that. So, how long before we dive into Taggerz real quick? How long have you been in Web3? When did you kind of fall into the rabbit hole, and why can't you dig yourself out?
I don't want to dig myself out.
You and me both.
But yeah, I discovered the first time I read about NFTs was in December 2020, I believe, right before the Beeple, crazy sale. And, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I reached out to a couple of like digital artists of mine that had made it on Instagram. But on Instagram, you just get a like, right? You don't get anything. It doesn't pay the bills, doesn't, do anything. So I reached out to them and I was like, hey, have you heard about NFTs? Blah, blah, blah. And then after the Beeple sale, I think of 69 million or something, I was like, yep, okay. I've been posting here and there on Instagram. I definitely want to go and mint my own thing. And then, it's history from there. Like it was just a passion. Like I'm a very passionate person. When I'm into a project, I literally sleep just to survive. If not, I wake up and I go to bed and I just have to fight myself not to get up from bed and just start designing. So yeah, it took over my life from there.
I love that. Pretty much the same story. Just about all of us, one way or another, got involved in either December 2020, 2021, or back in 2017 when crypto kind of really started taking off, when Bitcoin started taking off. I guess you could say is when a lot of people started to get involved that I know. But it's kind of that same story. You get involved and you just learn more and more and more and more and more, and then you don't want to get out. Next thing you know, you're involved with 20 different projects. You're like, okay, I got to scale some stuff back here. And then now, hey, I'm not saying I'm starting anything, but now all of a sudden you find yourself owning your own project and making your own art and doing your own things, which with your story and everything you've been through in life. I just hold so much respect for you, and I think it's so damn cool. And you barely touched on it just a little bit at the beginning, but as far as the Taggerz, tell us a little bit about the collection. I know you got the Taggerz XL, and then moving into the Taggerz. If you kind of want to explain, I never say shill. It's just super chilled, laid back. You don't have to get all crazy and wild in it, but also, if you're feeling a wild hair, maybe a little special alpha for the Diamond Hand fam. I don't let me overstep bounds. I know there's lines in the sand, but if you got any special alpha, we we certainly would enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure, man. So about Taggerz, we're basically a street art based project focusing on giving back to nonprofits, helping youth in foster care and young adults growing out of the system. I chose those causes because I went through the system myself, as you know, raised by a single mother who passed away when we were very young. I had to just go on with life with my siblings, my younger sister and my older brother. And, my brother was 16 years old and he had at a certain point no choice to, place us in the system. And I can tell you, from, personal experience, it's not a walk in the park. It's tough, especially when you have, 2 weeks maximum to pack your stuff and start your adult life without any guidance. Already, moving out on your own and stuff is a learning curve. But when you have no one, it's really hard. And there's a lot of kids, that come out of abusive family, but there's a lot of kids that come out of loving families and that just don't have the means to support them. And the government comes in and, think they can take care of the kids better and then, pay foster care homes, which I find personally ridiculous. Pay the family, let them stay together. So basically, yeah, we're giving back to small local nonprofits in Montreal, my hometown. We're starting there. Eventually, I would love to expand. And, like I said, my computer was given to me by one of those nonprofits. So I might not be, able to change the life of every, foster care kid. But if I can help out one, continuing education or, just putting clothes on their back, something like that. That's what I want to do. If we're all here to invest into little JPEGs, it's because we have that opportunity, right? We have a little bit of money to spare, even if some people, invest, not in, sorry, I lost my word, but yeah, we all have that opportunity. But I want to make Taggerz basically that opportunity for other kids to get to that financial freedom when they start their adult life. So that's the mission. That's the reason behind Taggerz. The process and utility of Taggerz, I would say the process already started. We had a free mint that I'm so grateful for, that minted out in 9 minutes. It was called Taggerz XL. It's on OpenSea currently. There's just a couple of them, on sale. And what Taggerz XL is for in the ecosystem is that it acts as a mint pass. So not only you can mint a free tagger, which is our main drop where all the donations are going to come from, for free, but you can mint everything else that's coming in the future, and that's the alpha just for the Diamond Hand radio show. It's basically we have at least 2 other drops coming after Taggerz. And every time we drop something, every time, the team touches to any project, Taggerz XL will allow you to mint one of those NFTs for free. We're here for the long run, so I can, guarantee you there's going to be a lot of them. I really want to create an entire ecosystem. I want to create banners, walls that you can tag yourself, baby taggers, and that's something I've never said. So that's the alpha. And basically, the utility, the biggest utility for Taggerz, beside, helping kids coming out of the foster care system is that not only you'll be able to purchase in fiat or Ethereum some merch in our store, where they'll have the access to augmented reality features, but you'll be if you mint a legendary Taggerz, you'll get an all expenses paid trip to an art festival annually. So the first year is in Montreal, again, my hometown, and it's such an artsy city. It's going to be for the festival called Mural this year, actually. Obey and Fuck Render and Burn Toast were participating in. So it's a really massive and festival with concerts and art and street art, murals everywhere. So you'll be able to fly in to Montreal, bring a homie, bring your wife, your boo, your neighbor, your frenemy, whoever you want. You'll be able to bring a plus one. Everything is paid, fare, like flights, food, accommodation, etc. We'll be able to do some private tours of street art galleries, private tours of, and the first NFT gallery in Montreal, in Canada, actually, which is in Montreal. And the thing that is the most important to me is that we'll take an afternoon. Obviously, it's not forced if the holder wants to volunteer with one of the nonprofits that we're giving back to see, to give a taste to holders of the impact that they have by just purchasing, an NFT. So that's, the biggest perks. Obviously, there's going to be other giveaways like a physical prints, hand painted skateboards. I paint as well on the side. So, I like definitely plan on doing some paintings, prints with augmented reality feature. As like I'm definitely into that technology. And that's about it. Like the first year is in Montreal. Second year, I would love to go to Art Basel in Miami. I know Toronto, Detroit are a very big, artsy city. Paris. So that's the goal. While doing this, while giving value to the holder, we want to help the next generation that's going to come into the work field, which starts with a disadvantage emotionally and financially, which is I think foster kids. Obviously, there's so many problems in the world and stuff, but we can't save the world. But if we can help one cause at a time, that's the goal.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all that and the alpha. Woo! Let's go. Makes me even excited. I was flashing up there on the screen, and if you just wanted to quickly touch on it, I know you're a lover of pop art. That's the Taggerz XL, and then a little bit of a sneak peek at the Taggerz. There he is. Check him out. That's dope. Oh, that's so sick. I'm a big fan of pop art too. What kind of made you kind of start your style? I mean, I dove into your foundation too. I'll be fully transparent. I checked out some of your foundation work and stuff you've done. So I'm a big fan of what you got. What kind of drew you into pop art in that style?
To be honest, I don't know. I always loved cartoons since I was a kid. I remember one of my, earliest memories was like drawing a little Mickey Mouse when I was 6 years old. My dad is an artist, but he's more portrait, artist. I can't do faces. I can't do hands. I'm going to admit it. So I'm not going to draw it. So that's why all my, art is faceless. And like I said, I always loved cartoon. I always loved, reminding people that, the inner kid in each and one of us was, simple, without bills or hate, and and for me, it's important to keep that, inner child alive. Remember the good times, and that's what really, draw me into like comic pop art. And then the colors, right? I love doing vibrant colors. And I know that like one of my biggest favorite artists is Banksy. I know he's more into the black and white, but he always put a like kind of a social political message into his art, and that's what I've been wanting to do. There's always a story behind my art where it's it's mostly to showcase inequality in a subtle way. And I always wanted to do some street art. Always wanted to do some paste up. Never had, the opportunity, the time, the money, or the guts to go and spray paint, the side of a building, because spray paint is actually expensive.
Yep.
So I decided to do it digitally. And I have so many doodles on my computer that I've done over the years, and Taggerz was one of them that I've had for like probably a year or something before I started the project, and gathered a team, and proposed the design, and we evolved it to different poses. And that's where Taggerz came along. And I feel like it's I'm not a graffiti artist. I love the art. I love as well that graffitis that we can read through, not like just tags where it's kind of complex to read. So that's why I merged a little bit of the pop art and the street art with it, and did it digitally.
I love your style a lot. I mean, I'm a massive fan of not only just the Taggerz, but the Taggerz XL, and I just love the colors. I mean, I'm staring at it right now, like I just have been the whole time. I love your style, and how you kind of, like you said, you merged the street and the pop style and did it digitally. I like that a lot, because that's the best. And my favorite trait, honestly, I've dove so deep, but this one with the gamers sticker, I love the gamer sticker, that old school Pac-Man. I mean, that is so badass. I love that thing so much. So thank you for that gift again. I know I thanked you on the back end and on Twitter, but thank you. That meant the absolute world to me, and I cannot wait to support you for the long term. 150%. But
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure. Couple of things wanted to touch base on, and then get your kind of thoughts, opinions, just anything in between, some questions I always ask guests when they come on. But I don't know if you've ever watched the show, but at the end of the show, we do a little thing called Finish the Sentence. I ask you 10 heavy hitting, some not really at all, just meant to make a laugh and make people understand more about Daphnee behind the PFP. I'll ask you those sentences, and we'll get out of here. So I got a couple more questions, and then we'll dive into that. We'll have some fun, and then we'll get on about the day. After the giveaway too, can't forget about that. But right now it's just a really weird time, right? There's kind of a pump. People are kind of interested in what's going on. There's not really a downturn to where a lot of people are scooping stuff up. It's a real plateau. It's a real lull, but there's still people interested in a lot of this news with Tiffany & Co. and Cyberpunks coming out, or CryptoPunks. I said Cyberpunks, CryptoPunks. And just some of the stuff I talked about today on Word on the Chain, a lot of these big name companies making the leap. What would be your advice to somebody who's just kind of still unsure, or just kind of that best piece of information to make them feel safe and welcome in Web3 and the NFT space?
I always take that example. I feel like the NFT world, Web3 world, is like riding a bike. You can't read a book about riding a bike. It's good to read, articles and stuff, but I feel like the space goes so fast that by the time you read the article, or you watch a video, it's outdated. You have to be in it, right? And I find that Twitter is like the cities of NFTs, and then Discords are little buildings. And I would just tell them to get on Twitter Spaces, something live. Twitter is instant information. Like yesterday or something, when the news came out with the 30 ETH, in 5 minutes it was trending. Nobody has time to write an article in 5 minutes like this. So just get into Twitter Spaces, follow the Diamond Hand radio show, and just tune in live, on the moment. And everybody has their schedule, and I know it's impossible to follow every Spaces, but whenever you have time, just like hop on a Twitter Space. You don't have to interact, you don't have to talk, just listen. And obviously, once you have questions or opinions, get on stage. But the fastest way to learn about NFT, to invest, is definitely Twitter, and then find a project that it has a low entry, get into the Discord and get a sense of the community, because really NFT for me personally gave me hope in humanity. There's obviously a lot of scammers, a lot of rugs, but there's a lot of good people. So just get in there, ask your question. Nobody's gonna judge. And Twitter Space and Discord. That's my advice.
Ask a question. I like that. I like how you talked about Twitter Spaces too. They've kind of turned into my podcast. Even if I don't have an opportunity to pop up, I mean, you always see me on stage on some space doing something. But I, even when I don't have an opportunity to pop up, I'll still listen. And they've become that kind of podcast media outlet for me to be able to learn. And I'm always taking notes. And I really appreciate you saying that. And I see what you did there, throwing a little Diamond Hand Radio plug in there. Appreciate you. But that's great advice. And speaking of advice, there's another thing that's kind of an issue right now, and it's the security side of things, right? And I talked about
Mhm.
MetaMask rolling out their updates, and there's little things happening here and there, and obviously us as team members, as founders, artists, NFT OGs, if you will, are screaming it from the mountaintops, the things to do, right, to keep yourself safe. What would be your best piece of security advice? And maybe it can be to that first time person, or even just people in the space, like, hey, remember, there's a little something to keep in the back of the brain.
Well, first of all, I've helped onboard so many people into the NFT space in the past year and a half and stuff. The first thing that I tell people is, once you get into Web3, you have to change your online habits. There's no more like clicking any links, or just I'm curious, or just you can't click links anymore, right? And first thing I tell them is to buy a leather book that will last them many many years, and go one by one. And it takes a long time. It took me 2 weeks, but go one by one with every single account that you have on the internet, and change your password to something that you will not be able to remember. Like, I have this leather book, and I can't log into anything if I don't have it, right? Then it's really, don't ever click on a link, or reply to somebody who sends you a link on DMs on Twitter or Discord. Stop, you like, take off your DMs on Discords if they don't send you a friend request. And before you accept that friend request, really, like, go and try to find them on Twitter, find a history of them. And it's really, like, it's hard to say, do everybody says do your own research, but it's hard to. So at a certain point, like, just make connection into the space, on Discords, on Twitter, and see if this account is following each other. And like you were saying earlier, MetaMask is upgrading their security level, so obviously that's going to help. But number one rule, don't click links. If you can afford to have a separate device to browse Web3, then to browse regular internet, do it. If not, have different browsers, like have your MetaMask on Firefox or Brave, and then browse the internet on Google. That would be my biggest advice.
I love that. I love that. Definitely slowing down and not buying into the FOMO. And if somebody sends you a DM or something, not just instantaneously, oh, let me go check this out. I love that. Just
Exactly.
slow down and, okay, who is this actually coming from, first of all, before you do anything. So I appreciate that. It's always good to get different perspectives of security and just rehash. I definitely took a couple notes there on everything that you've said today, not just only the security. But one final thought before we have a little closing fun. I always ask guests this their first time on the show, and let me tell you, nerves or not, you've absolutely killed it today. Amazing episode, young lady. You've done a great job. But I always ask guests this because the people I associate with, they've been through stuff, right? I've been through a lot in life. There's many members of the Diamond Hand fam that have been through a lot in life, and more notably, a lot of adversity. And what I can say about them and what I know about you is you've stood on the battlefield of that, stood on the battlefield of life. And when those arrows of adversity are flying at you, you choose to reach up and grab them and break them over your knee and see how much stronger you can become instead of just letting them pierce you through and kill you. So when somebody chasing a dream or a passion or wanting to break into Web3 or start a business or whatever the case might be, someone in that phase or just simply somebody battling adversity right now, just a human being battling adversity, what is your number one piece of advice to somebody just chasing that dream or passion?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the correct word, it's a battle. So I would say, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to take a break. Just be constant, right? Come back day after day. But when it gets overwhelming, when it gets too much, it's important to, try to have people around you for moral support. And it's okay to take a break. It's okay to feel down. It's okay to feel like, we're not going to make it. But just at the end of it, just come back. Don't give up. Don't give up and take the time you need. Take a break. Step out, touch some grass, which is something, that's been said a lot in the space lately, because especially in Web3, this space is addictive and it's constant. It's 24/7. It's impossible to keep up with everything. And even though, like I was saying, I feel like Twitter is a medium of instant information, you will see that in 24 hours, like 1 week in the NFT space, it feels like a month in real life. So don't be afraid to take a break. Try to like balance out your love time with your loved one, your family, and time with like online friends. So no, don't give up, but don't be afraid to step out a little bit. And it's okay. NFTs are here to stay. If you have a passion, a goal, it's gonna happen one day, and you never know. Connections can be made every day and just become open a door like 6 months, 10 years down the line. Just to always try to be nice. If you can help people, help out. You never know when those people are going to be able to help you out too.
Love that. Whew! Good stuff. That's why I always ask that question, because that got me chills. Ooh, that was a good one. That was good stuff. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable and just reach out and keep going. Just jump. I say it all the time. You stand on that cliff's edge and nobody's gonna kick you in the ass and push you over that cliff. Sometimes you just gotta jump and hope those wings work some way on the way down. Maybe you'll learn how to fly sometime. I haven't splatted on the bottom of a canyon yet when doing that jump, but we'll see. Who knows? But D, before we get into the last little segment here, thank you so much. Absolute pleasure. This has been absolutely awesome. Definitely kind of my game plan is as we've been rolling on episodes. For instance, Pandemania, they just sold out. Bringing guests back on as their collections, their journey in Web3 kind of continues to happen and see their growth. So I would be absolutely honored when Taggerz rolls out and that sells out yet again and everything really starts to take hold for you. I would love to have you back on if you'd have the time.
Of course, it would be my absolute honor, and I love it. Thank you so much.
Nah, the pleasure's all mine. Thank you. This has been awesome. But let's get a little funny. Let's get a little weird. My friends, last segment of the day. Finish the sentence, Daphnee! Sentence number one. I already told you mine. But what is yours? My favorite Taggerz XL trait is...
It's actually as well the game, the old school Pac-Man. I'm a 90s babies. I had to give it, a little trait like this.
I love that so much. I like even like the analog buttons and the blue and the green. I mean, that's just that's so sick. Okay, glad we're on the same page there. Web3 can best be described as...
The future.
Love it. No wrong answer. That's the beautiful part about it. Twitter Spaces are
a fun way to network.
Love it. Love it. Some people say an absolute madhouse. So, hey, at least you got a fun way to network. Number 4. My favorite art I've worked on outside of the Taggerz collection is.
Vanitas, actually, that I digitalized off of an artist that was painting a reflection of himself in the 15th century on a crystal ball. And I remixed that little vanitas, and I put little objects that represent me and my personal life. um I worked on it for I think a year, and I'm still gonna be working on it, I think, maybe probably for the rest of my life. uh but yeah, that's the most personal and fun piece that I've had on it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I would love to see that if it ever does get finished in either one of our lifetimes. Being that you are, from the Great White North, our friends up there. Hello, Daphnee. Good to see you. Even though you're in the States right now. Are you in the States right now?
Yeah, I'm in Maine visiting my
That's right.
mother-in-law, so
I thought you
it's
were. I
beautiful
thought you
here.
were.
Hmm.
I thought you were. Well, being that you're a wearer of tooks and drinker of old Tims and, a rider of meese in the town, uh, my favorite Canadian tradition is.
Oof, you got me there. I'm actually a snow Mexican. I was born in
I love
Mexico.
it.
I'm American, so I'm not, I don't even
That's
have
why
a
I
Canadian
asked.
passport.
That's why I asked. I thought
I
so.
would
That's why.
say, I would say, okay, wait, I have it. A poutine after a hangover,
Okay,
because that's a
hey,
tradition.
hey. We don't get poutine like that down here. So hey, shout out Dr. J. Dr. J is my man. He's a loyal member of the Diamond Hand Radio fam, but he does so much more for me. But he lives in Kingston, Ontario. So I was asking him actually about poutine the other day. So gonna need some poutine shipped down from either one of you now that it's been mentioned twice. Okay, we move on to question number 6. My favorite place I've visited in the United States is.
Uh, I haven't traveled a lot. I lived in Miami and Texas a little bit, and I would say the beach. Anywhere, if you have a beach, as a Canadian, definitely appreciate a little bit of sun. Gets my Mexican Moroccan tan on.
I love it. I'm a beach guy too. I would definitely go to the beach over anything. My favorite type of cuisine is.
Oof. Well, I gotta give two answers. It's couscous and tacos. That's
Woo!
yeah.
Talk about couscous and talk about that combination. You could do some shrimp couscous with like a couple like one tinga taco and one carne
Yeah.
asada taco. I mean, am I speaking your language or am I off base here?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Give me it all. Give me it all. I'm all about it. We're on the same page. Okay, three more, D.
Let's go.
If I could eat tacos y plátanos y chile rellenos y all that
Mhm.
shit. All that shit with one famous person, it would be.
Oof. I actually talked to my wife about this. I would love to party with like a trio, and
Oh,
I have to give you three answer. It's Maya Rudolph. I think she's
okay.
hilarious. Adele. I think she's real
Okay.
hilarious too. And Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish. Fun
I
fact.
mean, that's
Went
a
through
power trio.
right.
That's power women right there. What?
And little fun fact, Tiffany Haddish went through the foster care system as well,
Oh
and
shit.
is self-made. So I have I might be biased, but I find her hilarious too. But imagine like
That's
partying with
awesome.
those three, and then waking up with like a horse in your hotel room, like hangover style. I could imagine that.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That's awesome, man. That is a power trio if I've ever heard one. Two more. Two more. My favorite snack food is.
Cereals. I
Ooh,
love some cereals. Any type of cereals.
child, please. I during COVID, I got into this kick of mixing cereals. I do like
Oof.
Frosted Flakes and Lucky Charms together.
Ooh, you're a feisty one.
Oh, oh, you want to talk about sugar overload on that milk bowl at the end? Woo!
Mhm.
I love me some cereal too. All kinds of cereal. I even go after Life. Like I like Life. I like all this shit. I love cereal. Man, D, we're
Same.
like the same human being. I tell you what.
Right?
Now I know why me, you, and Baby O get along so well. Shout out. All right.
By the way, little parentheses, Baby O and you are the most dynamic duo on Web3. I've been saying that for the past 2 days. I've been telling my wife, like at my friends, everybody, like I love you guys. Really, like you're
Thank you.
amazing. Sorry,
Thank you.
continue.
Thank you. No, I only got one more after this, but thank you, man. That's my brother. I appreciate Baby O more than I even think he knows. And if he's tuning in as per usual, I appreciate the fuck that dude. But yeah, we connected right off the bat over just a beer bong on a space and got in the DMs. I was in, it's crazy you mentioned that. I was actually in Discord DMs yesterday, sending out some DMs and connecting with some people. And I went into me and Baby O's DMs. And the first one I ever sent him was back in February. We haven't messaged in that shit since. And I was literally telling him, like, bro, we could host spaces. We could be on the Ether Bruce team. We could do this. We could do that. And he's like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And now look at
Let's
us, and he comes on the show.
go.
So it's just so cool. It's been conversations and just work in the making. So thank you. That's my fucking brother, and I'm only half the show without that man. Oh man, I wouldn't be
They're
half.
amazing.
Oh, he's a hell of a kid. Shout out, Baby O, and shout out his mental health spaces tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Every single Monday he hosts those. So shout out, Baby O. Be sure to set your reminder. Final sentence. I see you trying to get me off track here and not go deep dive into it. Final sentence of the day. The one thing I always make sure to check off my daily to-do list is.
Oof. Coffee or beer? Depends on the time of the day.
Brew or brew. Brew or brew. Hey, I like the way you think. All
Yeah.
right. Hey, 10 sentences. Cook through them, slice through them, right like a hot knife through butter. I mean, nice and easy peasy Japanese. Look at you go. Well, that's all I got, young lady. Are you ready to give away one of them Taggerz XLs?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right. One more time, kids. One time for the one time. Make sure you have already, if you haven't already, enter in hashtag Taggerz Takeover. It's right below me. You see it going below Miss Daphnee right there. And then again below me here again. Hashtag Taggerz Takeover is your secret phrase of the day if you want to be entered in to win a Taggerz XL that Miss Daphnee has been so kind to give over today for a giveaway. Again, that not only gives you the NFT and the value now, which there's not shit listed for Taggerz XL. Like, it is a small collection and they are all diamond hands in there. Let me tell you, it gives you a free mint for not only the Taggerz, but all future collections and everything that D has coming up. So make sure, if you haven't already, you're missing out. But here's the final call. Hashtag Taggerz Takeover in the live YouTube chat, not on Twitter. Disclaimer, Twitter doesn't send them to me, only in the live YouTube chat. So without further ado, my friends, for the first time today and the last time, live on your screen, hashtag Taggerz Takeover with 32 entries. Look at you kids go. There's some diamond hands getting in the chat today. They want this Taggerz XL. They want what Daphne's got to lay out and roll out and lay down over the course of the next, what? Who knows? 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 150 or 200 years, because they'll figure out how to clone people by then, and we'll just keep this whole thing going. So without further ado, my friends, your final call has now been counted down from 5. Hashtag Takeover in the live chat. From 4. Hashtag Takeover. Taggerz Takeover in the live chat. From 3. From 2, my friends, the final number is 1. The number has not moved. And draw. Who's it going to be today? We see familiar faces all over the place. Every day now, what do you say? Every one time, Lana Ray and Alpha Minor and JJ Pallister and Supernova Degens Munchin. Who is it going to be? Dylan! Shout out, Dylan!
Let's go.
Not 100% sure who that is. I'm sure I know who you are, but you're just on YouTube and not on Twitter. So feel free to send me at Cap and Colt a DM with your wallet address. Just let me know it was you. I will confirm it, and then I'll send it over to Daphnee so she can get that all taken care of. But shout out Dylan. Again, not sure if you're a new viewer, first time viewer, long time viewer, first time caller, first time winner. I have no idea. But shout out, thanks for watching the show, and thanks for entering the daily giveaway, and thanks Ms. D for giving away one of those awesome Taggerz XLs on today's show. Appreciate you so much also for your time, your insights, and just being an incredible human being. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure and my honor. Seriously, I really appreciate the opportunity. You're awesome. Definitely, gonna tune in every day as much as I can.
We'll be
thank
live.
you again.
We'll be live. We ain't going nowhere, but for now, we are going somewhere. We got to get out of here. But before we do, a couple of things. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button. Make sure all of your DGen friends, your Diamond Hand friends, and everybody in between know about the Door Show and Diamond Hand Radio so they too can hear the closing message every single day. My friends, that's it. That's a wrap. Paper or plastic. Put a bow on that son bitch. Episode number 39 of The Door Show is officially over. Before we go anywhere, a couple of things I ask you to remember. Number one, it is a magnificent, nay, marvelous, nay, magna, marvelous Monday to be alive. The rest is up to me and thee, and I'm choosing to push around some PLP. That stands for peace, love, and positivity. For those of you that are new to this show and haven't heard the acronym before, I ask you to do a little bit of the same and maybe dash in a little bit of kindness too as well. Why? Because it costs 0 fiat, 0 ETH, 0 soul, and 0 of any of them other shit coins you care to be invested in right now to do so. I hope you have. The legendary Lady D hopes you have a spectacular rest of your Monday, unless you have any other plans. And last but certainly not least, being that this show is a member of the Diamond Hand Radio media family, we must also remember that at Diamond Hand Radio, we don't only hold, we hold each other up. And right now is one hell of a time to flex those diamond hands. Appreciate each and every one of you again. Because of all of you diamond hands, this show is possible day in and day out. Thank you again to Miss D and all of the Taggerz fam that took over the show today. We'll catch you in the VCs. We'll catch you in the Discords. We'll catch you in the spaces. But for right here and right now, my friends,